Hi everyone and welcome to Sports Watch. If you like the content, please press the bell icon for further notifications and like, share and subscribe to the channel. Deontay Wilder has spoken out after his loss to Joseph Parker, and as usual, it's delusional. After losing all 12 rounds, he has the gall to blabber utter nonsense and throw shade on Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. But before you get into his performance, the question that everyone should ask now is Wilder an elite heavyweight? His resume is the worst in boxing. It's a carefully built up against fighters who are worse than cab drivers when it comes to fighting. The greatest win of his career is against a 40-year-old Luis King Kong Ortiz. In both those fights, Wilder was losing every single round until Ortiz got tired and ran into a right hand. Against younger elite fighters like Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker, he has lost thrice and drawn one in the last 4 years. His right hand is arguably the hardest in boxing, but it's only effective against weaker and washed up opponents. He couldn't knock out Fury and he couldn't even hurt Parker. At 38, he isn't going to get any better. Now, Wilder says his timing was off and he's a far better boxer than Joseph Parker. Inactivity hurt him. He hurt Parker a couple of times, but he hesitated in throwing shots. Parker had no business beating him even on his best day. He did nothing. In fact, they both did nothing. Now let's analyze these statements. Parker in his career has faced Andy Ruiz, Dillian White, Joe Joyce, Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora. So he has been in the ring with the top of the heavyweight division. And when you face the best, you are bound to come up short sometimes, like he did. At the age of 31, he has already faced some of the best fighters in his division and he has gained a lot of experience as he showed in his fight. Now, Wilder in his career has faced Ortiz, Fury, and Parker. He won against Ortiz and lost the other two. In 45 fights, he hasn't faced the best in the division. So, how can Wilder become elite without facing the best? Plus, Deontay Wilder was Joseph Parker's easiest win in his career. He won almost every single round. Even in your worst day, you should win a couple of rounds. So, what does that tell you about Deontay Wilder? He's an average fighter at best. Inactivity did play a part, but before the fight, both he and his coach Malik Scott didn't make much of it and said that they were going to be surgical. So, why change the narrative now? Wilder says he hurt Parker and hesitated to throw shots. Well, the hesitation was because Parker was fast and not 40 years old like Ortiz. He had quick hands which baffled Wilder and he couldn't adjust. Wilder says Parker did nothing. He should watch the eighth round. He almost knocked him out. If that means doing nothing, well then Parker did nothing. Throughout the fight, it was only one fighter looking for the knockout, and it was Joseph Parker. So the harsh truth is, against elite fighters, Wilder hasn't won a single bout. Then he goes on to say how Anthony Joshua's happy that he lost and how he would use this Parker win to avoid fighting him. He even stated that a rumor was on that AJ would retire if he had won. Now, all of these are nothing but lies and works of fiction. Joshua wasn't happy that Wilder lost. AJ was a bigger man and chose not to slander him when he was down. He in fact stated that Wilder came back shot and he will be back. It's still a fight that he wants despite the loss. Wilder at this point has become totally obnoxious when he thinks that after losing 12 straight rounds, he is still eligible to fight Joshua in March. In his last 5 fights, he has won only one fight, and his arrogance makes him feel that he is still the best. And there wasn't any rumor about Joshua retiring. It's all concocted. He had already signed up to fight Wilder had he won. Now it's rather unbecoming of a former champion to make such hideous comments. But then again, Deontay Wilder in the past has done the exact same things. He blames everyone but himself when he loses. When he lost to Fury, it was the gloves. Then someone spiked his water. His coach Mark Brilliant was guilty for throwing in the towel. All the excuses under the sun were made by him, and they were all conspiracy theories. Now he wants to get his killer instinct back. He's all at peace with himself, and that's why he lost. Someone should tell him he lost because he isn't good enough. He lacks skill, and once you grow old, you slow down and your reflexes go. He dreams of becoming a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, when in reality, he might get knocked out cold by the next top fighter he faces. At this stage of his career, he isn't going to get any easy fights. He's lost against Parker, but he hasn't talked about rematching him. Maybe he can right a wrong, or maybe he knows deep down he can get beaten worse next time. In boxing, skills pays the bills, and if you don't have any, you are bound to look for excuses. Unfortunately for Deontay Wilder, the only thing he does is make up excuses. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.